Alright, I'm back. Although many of you aren't probably watching this or are subscribed, so please like and subscribe below. It helps out a lot. So, I've been gone for a little bit, and that's mainly because of this project right here. Among the holidays, and then I got COVID in early January, so all that contributed to me not getting a video out till now. So, this right here, as you can probably already read, is a Coke cooler. More specifically, this is a Glasco GBV-50. I'll get into that a little bit later. This is not mine. This is actually a friend and client of mine, Ken Schlotfeld, who owns Badger Airbrush. Ken, if I pronounce your last name wrong, that's on you. You never told me how to pronounce it, so you get to live with it pronounced wrong forever on YouTube, so that's on you. But this was in his family for the longest time. I went up there and saw this, asked him what he's doing with it. He said he wanted it restored, and I offered my skills to do it. So this video isn't going to be me going over every single thing that I've ever did to this thing. I'm going to do a quick gloss over of everything that I've done, and then I'm going to show you the one thing that I learned how to do and how to do it well on this particular Coke cooler. So first off, the paint is about as close as we can get to the original paint as possible. I took the cap catcher off, polished it down to get it back to shiny, and then took it over to our local PPG. I think it's called Keystone. They scanned it. They got me a match color, and that's what I used to repaint it. The decal. The decal was originally silkscreen on. This one I used Badger Imagine Air paint, and I stenciled it and airbrushed it on, and then went over it with some pinstriping brushes to make sure I got nice hard lines. And then on the inside of here, the whole tub was replaced from the galvanized steel that it was into 304 stainless, I believe, or is it 316? One of the two. All the rubbers have been replaced. Those were all gotten from Funtronics or Soda Jerk Works. Same with the electrical wiring. I think that's about all that I replaced on the outside. None of the pump, the coils or anything like that was replaced because they were still filled with original Freon. It works. It gets cold. We don't need to worry about that. The paint, it was Speedo Coat Filler Primer White. A couple layers of that. Sanded down smooth. Put the red on. Do a coat of clear. Put the white decal on. And then just, I think I have 4 to 5 layers of clear on here. So I wanted this to be good enough to where he won't have to touch this for another 50 years. Although I don't know how old he is. He probably wouldn't have to. Well, we'll get to that later. The body work was I did all the body work on it. There are some small dents and dings that you can see. And essentially the reason why those are there is, number one, to keep a little bit of its history, and number two, I just couldn't get to them. There are some places right around here that has a steel angle that is in there, but it's far enough away that it allowed a dent to occur, but not far enough away to actually get something in there to hit it and get the dent out. And I was not going to use Bondo on this because Bondo, it can be used correctly. In something like this, I more or less would rather have its character show through than use Bondo, where if I mixed it wrong, if I prepped the surface wrong, it could pop out. So there's not many. I think there's one right down here, and it's just maybe the thickness of a sheet of paper, because I was able to work it out just a little bit with, I have a spoon, what's called a metal spoon, and I tapped it out. So it's there, but you can't see it unless you really pay attention. So let's get into the reason why I'm actually doing this video. So what do I do with the flashlight? Because otherwise you won't be able to see what I want to show you. Okay. Here we go. So I have the flashlight. So we are going to do, pardon if you see any of the mess that's over here on the to the right of the camera. I have the stuff for the mill almost ready to go, and I need to take it up to the garage. So this right here, this was originally CAD plated. CAD plating is, it's a form of galvanizing or zinc plating, and it just passivated on the, passivated on the outside to help prevent any oxidization. So that is not actually CAD plated anymore. It was originally, but it was starting to fail and become so thin that the metal was starting to show through. So I sanded it down and painted it. So I don't know if you can really tell, but as I move the light around, it color shifts. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Now on the camera, it looks like there's more metallic flake than what there actually is. I think that's just a matter of how the camera picks up light and how the bright light that I was using. Looking at it in person, it looks a lot more like CAD plating than what it looks like on camera. So I don't know how to fix that issue, but I think it could also be the filters that I have on. I have a couple different filters on my camera, so this way I don't look like the pasty white boy that I am. So I'm gonna preface this with the fact that I do work for Badger. I do their engineering, so I do get engineering samples, and this is one of them, and this is one I used. So I'm not sure if technically this is a paid promotion, because this is technically from my work, so I got it from work, but technically at the same time I used something that was free, so I'm not sure how all that works. Report me, whatever. But alright, so first off, I started with this. This right here is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's Seymour 316 stainless paint. Now this paint is special for a reason. It's not just colored stainless, it actually has 316 stainless steel pigments in it. So that allows this to act similar to a cold galvanizing compound. So you can spray this on, and it helps protect from, well, essentially corrosion. Essentially what it says, it protects against sunlight, oils, and water. I'm guessing it also protects against salt spray and stuff like that. I actually might do a test later on how well that actually works. So I sprayed that down. That is my primer. Now, on top of that, I used this. Stop focusing on my face and focus on this. There we go. This is pearlized gold from Auto Air. Now, you may ask, well, why didn't I just do a yellow candy coat over top of this stainless? Because it does come out magnetic, or not magnetic, metallic. There we go. Well, when I did that, it looked like someone peed in a stainless steel bowl. It didn't look good at all. This gold, however, you could replace this particular brand and particular whatever with a gold spray paint and just probably even chunk this out the window if you wanted to. I just use this because this would act like a galvanizing and help to protect it from rust. So then I sprayed the gold on it. I used my airbrush for that. You don't have to use an airbrush, as I said. You can use a spray can of gold. I just had this stuff sitting around, and might as well use it instead of going out and buying a can of spray paint. So then I use this. This right here is, come on, I don't know why it's trying to focus on my shoulder. There we go. It's Duplicolor Clear Effects. Now if you look at the label, you see that color shift. That helps with this whole process. So I sprayed that over top of this because this is a water-based paint for one, and I wanted to be able to, if I messed up on the next step after this, I wanted to be able to clean it off without, having to go back to the base coat or primer. This also adds to the effect because that color shift is also what CAD does. CAD color shifts as you look at it in the light. It goes from red to blue to green. This does that same thing. So now we're going to set that there. And our next step is right here. This is Auto Air Racing Green. It's a candy pigment, and you want to thin this, and the next one, thin this out, and you're just going to do very, 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 very light coats. And you're not going to coat the whole thing in it either. You're just going to do specific spots. And that's to trick your eye into seeing green, or a shift of green. And you're going to just do it ever so slightly. You're going to barely want to notice it when you're spraying it over top of this, over top the clear. So then, you can do this in either, it doesn't matter which direction you do this in. But then you do the candy pigment. This is apple red. Yet again, thin this out a lot and very thin coats, and not over the whole thing, just in small spots. It's hard to describe how you actually do it. You don't want to just coat the whole thing. You want to do little swatches and random shapes. That helps with the whole effect. Also on top of that, I believe I use blue, a blue candy pigment. I believe they're racing blue. Sorry, I got COVID in early January and still facing some of the results from that. And then I went back to the clear effects and did another coat. And all these together give you that color shift, and it just fakes it enough that your eyes can't really tell. On camera you can, because the metallic the metallic from the gold, and I believe there's a little bit of micro metallic in this color effects. But it makes it where you can see it on camera, but you can't see it via your eyes. And it works pretty good. It actually works really well compared to some of the other brands that I've seen out there. At least what I've seen from people's results from those other brands. I think Eastwood sells it, and I looked at some of the reviews. I don't know if some of the people that used it didn't know how to use it or what, but they just didn't appeal to me. Not only that, it was $60. This stainless steel paint for me was $12. So that's 12. This was probably about $6, so that's 18. $6, so that's why am I having a hard time with this? 18, 2, 24. Geesh, that was bad. 30, and then so maybe $40 at most. I think this was $10. So, and then of course my airbrush. But yet again, as I said, you can decrease that by gold paint. Finding, well, this stuff is one of the key things. You don't want to change the clear effects. And then, go to a hobby shop and get like the tester's paint, and they should have a candy green and a candy red and a candy blue, and use that, and that should decrease the price a lot. I just stuck with this because I wanted to make sure that didn't rust, because it was almost to that point when I was starting it. So I just thought you guys might like to see that, see the finished product of what I've been working on. When Ken comes to pick this up, I'll try to get his reaction. I'll show you guys what's kind of special on the inside of this. I want to keep that hidden from him, at least up until he comes and gets it. So we'll surprise him with that one. So thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please go down, like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. I do this just for fun. I don't get paid anything from it. If you like and subscribe, it'll help out a lot. It'll give me a little bit more gumption to try to get more stuff out there, and I'm hoping to have a video on the CNC mill up, and I haven't touched the shaper too much, and I'm trying to think what other projects I have laying around here. But I'll try to get some more stuff out. I still have to work on the display table that I have and whatnot. So, yet again, like and subscribe. Click the notification bell if you want to see more of my stuff. It'll help out a lot. So, thanks, and thanks for watching.